Good afternoon once again, everyone. Today we're going to have our Managing Outlook. And once again, this session is going to be recorded. In a few, I will be turning off my video so you could keep focus on the screen sharing that I will do to be able to show you the different pictures. But allow me to be able to show you and share with you the learning objective for today's session. So participants will be able to create rules to move email effectively and minimize emails in the same conversation. We're also going to learn how to manage outgoing emails by scheduling a later time or delaying them or recalling them also. We're going to group and sort messages and of course, make efficient use of your calendar features to simplify setting up single and recurring appointments. And that's all about calendaring. Okay. Now, there are ways to organize your inbox in Outlook. First, Outlook uses a folder to organize messages. And secondly, Outlook uses rules to sort your email into folder. And lastly, plugging is an email in Outlook. So those are the three ways to organize your inbox in Outlook. And I'm going to actually show to all of you how to do all of this, how to create the folders and organize it in the folder, how do we create rules, and how to plug emails in your Outlook. So with this, let me just minimize this and allow me to share with you Outlook. Now, here at Transit, we basically use the Office 365 for our Outlook. So when you simply click on the start button, you will be able to see Outlook right there. So when you click on Outlook, this will allow you to be able to open Microsoft Office 365. Okay. And just like what you see right now, okay, it is going to open. And there you go. I have a double screen and you could see it right here. So this is Office 365, which most of you actually uses, right? And you could see that in here, you will be able to see the navigation at the bottom, okay? And of course, you also be able to see all the toolbars, okay, or the ribbon right here on top where you could actually have all the options. There is another way of viewing your email, and I'm not sure if you are using, some of you are just sticking to the Office 365 shortcut that you have on your screen, or for those of you who are actually always on the field, you might be also using the other option, which is the Outlook app, right? And basically, what the Outlook app looks like is this. Allow me to share it with you. If you are, okay, right here, I have my Outlook app. You see this mail Outlook app that when I click on this, it will actually give me what we call my Outlook email using the app. Where did I get it? It's in my apps. Um, a few last year, okay, MTAIT gave us the my application in Microsoft.com. And oops, my screen is freezing. Allow me to just close this and let me see if I could actually get a better view to be able to show you how it really would work. Okay, so I'm not sure if you guys are using it, but oops, it opened, the app opened on my other screen. And here it is. This is the look of the app, right? So this is the Microsoft app. Now, how do I get this? Now, if you notice, if you are with your intent in your MTA today, right? So let me see my New York City Transit home. Oops. And I have here my tools, and it should, oops, they actually switch the look. Okay, there you go. My 365 right there. Let me see if they have it here. Okay, and that's my portal. Let me see if I could still find the apps, and there's the MTA apps. Give it a few seconds, see if it will come up, but it will say my application, Microsoft.com. Okay, due to some timings, and it's not coming up, but that's how you get it. Okay, this is how it actually looks. This is the difference in the look. You could see the difference of the app. Okay, you could still see some of the ribbon right there, and it's still available on top, but my navigation is on the left side compared to the Outlook right here of Office 365, where my navigation is at the bottom. But basically, you are looking at the same screen, right? So I am going to start and show you how to use the folder to organize your email. So Outlook provides folder in which you could save and store items you create. You can also access this folder by using the default view within the folder. If you take a look, this is my app, Outlook app. Folder is basically right here. Okay, and there's an arrow right there. I have a lot of folders. If I click on this arrow, you could see all of the different folders that I have created, you know, for different purposes and different content, right? So that's basically what it is. In my Office 365, folders could be extracted if you click right here and you see folders. And these are all the folders that I have. You see the folders that are arranged alphabetically, and basically it tells you how many are in the content that you have not even read. So there are still few that I haven't even read or checked the content. But at least I know it's actually available out there. Okay, so that's basically how you actually view the folder. So you could access folder by clicking on the folder on the navigation, just like what I said. Here is or okay, in your Office 365. That's the navigation option. When you click here, you see the folder down at the bottom. Okay, so that's how you access your folder. Now, how do I move or copy an item to a folder? So there are three ways of doing it. First, you could use what you call drag and drop, just like any option. You could actually drag the email to it. Secondly, you could actually use the copy folder or move to folder option. Okay, so either you copy or you move. So those are the options that we basically have. However, if you have multiple messages, you could actually use the shift, key to be able to select multiple messages, and you could actually move them or copy them directly to your folder. Okay, so what's the easiest way to do it? Again, it's your choice or your priority. Take a look at what I have right here. So I have my Plum benefits. And if I would like to, and look at the different folders that I have right here. So if there are some courses, okay, that I would like to be able to, or emails I would like to basically move, I could actually do so. Let me just use an example, my Cronus timekeeping, okay, and I would like to move this. So I could use my right click, okay, and this is the easiest way to be able to move it and organize. Since I know I have a Cronus folder, there is a move option, okay. And if I simply move, I could see now the list of some of the folder. And if I say other folders, I will be able to see the list of the folders that I have right there. Okay, so I could look for my Kronos folder. to be able to put it right there. So I could select and I could simply click OK. And you notice that actually disappeared from my list. Okay. I could also use, this is my pad, my non-reply admin, but I would like to keep track of it. I could also use drag and drop. You see, that's my folders right there. I could simply use my right mouse, drag it there, and I could say move. And that's how easy it is to organize it. Now, how do you create a folder? So for instance, I have a new email, and this email is coming from, just like this, my colleague, Paul Williams. And I would like to create a folder, okay, so that all the emails that I will be receiving from Paul could actually be stored in that folder. So this email, I would simply right click on it, okay? And you notice by using my right click, I have the move option, okay? And I would like to move it. And I don't have a folder for Paul. So then therefore I could use other folder. And in here, I will create a new folder. Okay. So let me just make sure that it's under there, under my name. I will create a new folder and I will call it Paul Williams. Okay. So all the email coming from Paul Williams will actually be created and placed in this folder called Paul Williams. And all I have to do is simply click OK. Okay, so I have now move items in Paul Williams and simply click OK. And notice how it actually disappeared. And look on my left side. This is once again my Office 365. Paul Williams is right there. So when I click on it, I will be able to see the email that I have kept in that folder. You know how sometimes we do not have time to read them, but we don't want to lose those emails. We wanted to keep track of them, especially if those emails are from your manager or from your director, that you wanted to make sure you keep a copy or you keep it in one folder so you could always easily go back to it. You know that there's a new email that's not even read because you could see next to the name of the folder is the number of emails that are currently unread for the meantime. So all you have to do is click on it and it will actually display to you the content. Okay. And that's how simple it is. Okay. And that's basically how to create a folder. I hope, that is very clear and simple for everybody to pick up. Now, aside from the copying and moving options that I have shown you. So there is also, if you have, let's say, another email that you would like to have, I'm just going to use this as an example. There is, of course, some other options that you could actually do. So you could either copy it if you wanted to copy it. If that is, you wanted to keep the email here, so you could either right click and you would notice that there could actually be a copy. Or, when you have on your move options, okay, or move to others, and these are the other options that you have when you right click on it. Also, remember earlier when I drag and drop, right? So I have let me just see if I have my options for, okay, give me a minute. So I'm just going to put in, okay, orientation. So if I will have this and I right click on my orientation email, there you go. There's also a copy. So if I would like to keep it still on my inbox, but keep a copy in the folder, so you have the option to copy it. It is not always a move option. There is, of course, a copy option. So if I do that, I could simply click on copy, okay? And you notice Mark's email for me for orientation is still right there. But if you click right there, I see that same email intact right there. Are we good? So that's basically the difference when you make a copy in the folder. So a copy will be made, but at the same time, the email is still going to be in your inbox. Okay. Um, is there a way to retain emails longer than 2 years before they are moved to an online archive? Oh, that's a very good question. There is a question, is there a way to retain emails longer than 2 years before they are moved to online archive? There are settings, and I haven't even checked the length of time for the archive, but I'm going to research on that, Lisa, and I will get back to you with that question. That's a very good question. Yes. That's why if you're not sure about the archiving, this is a better way of doing the mailbox because so far all the mails that I have kept in my folders, I have not lost them. So this is a good way of keeping a copy of my my emails. Okay. Yes, Lisa, I will keep that in mind and I will actually research on it and give you an answer to it. By the way, everybody, if you have any question, feel free to put it in the Q&A or in the chat. You could address it, send it directly to me. Thank you so much. Okay, so that's about your email. Now let's go to the inbox rules. They could also use the inbox rules to automatically perform specific action on email that arrives in your inbox. So if an email arrives in your inbox and you want it to automatically move, right, you could actually create what you call rules. And to quickly create a rule that moves all email from a specific sender or a set of senders to a folder, all you have to do is, again, the right click is always the best way to do it. A message in your message list that you want to create a rule to, and then create a rule to advance action and create the rules. For instance, once again, I would like to create an email, okay? Let's say I have here Transit Museum, okay? And I right click on it. So you notice when I right click on this, one of the option you have right here, I am in the Office 365, right? On my Outlook Office 365. So you could actually create rules. So there is rules. You see rules? And there is a create rule option. Again, this is the Office 365 option. In the apps, okay, let me switch to the apps. If I have the same thing, and let's say I would like to basically send an email, or let's say I would like to create a folder. If anything that's coming in from MT8 corporate compliance, okay, that's the email. I right click on it. And again, in using the Outlook app, you could also still be able to create using advanced actions. So it just have a different term, but you could still create the rules. If you say advanced action and then you create rules, you notice this actually pops up. Create a rule. Always move messages from MTA corporate compliance to this folder. Then you select a folder, okay? If there is no folder for corporate compliance, you could create a new folder, okay? And new folder name, we would say corporate compliance, okay? And you save. Oops, I have a wrong spelling. Okay, there you go. And I save, okay? And then if you click on more options, it will open up. Okay, so take a look at the rule settings. It's actually coming from the mail rules, move all messages from corporate compliance, move to the folder corporate compliance, right? and run rule now. And if I save, okay, there you go. So the move all messages from corporate compliance rule has been created. Okay, that's how simple it is. So now you see the corporate compliance is no longer here. Okay, so if you look at your My folder, it should actually be on the list of My folder. That setting could also be obtained if you are right here, okay, in our Outlook. If you see in Outlook, you see settings. If you click on setting and if you go all the way to the bottom, view Outlook settings. In the mail, there's where you could find the rules. So all the rules that you have is actually in here. You could edit, and if you could actually delete it if you don't need it anymore. However, if you would like to create a new rules, you could click on add new rules, just like how we did. Now that's using the app. Let's switch to the Office 365, right? So let's say I would like to create, again, I would click on write plum benefits. I'm just going to use this and create my rules. Okay, so I'm just going to, again, using my right click button, there are rules, and then create rules and take a look. The box is a little bit different, but again, when I get message from the selected condition from plum benefits, okay, and what do I do? Do the following: display the new item alert window, play a selected sound, or move the folder. Move the folder, select a folder. Do I have plum benefits on my list? So you take a look. Sometimes you forget if you have created plum benefits already. Okay, doesn't look that I have plum benefits. So I'm going to click on new folder. Okay, so I'm going to go back and create a new folder and call it plum benefits. And simply click OK. So plum benefits, click OK. So that's my rules. So once rules are created, all I have to do is click on OK. Notice you say the rule plum has been created. Run this rule now. The message. So take a look at this plum benefits, right? When I click OK, you see how it disappeared from my inbox because now it is in that folder called Plum Benefits. Are we good? And take a look. There's my Plum Benefits. And that email has been added right there. Perfect, right? See, these are all my Plum Benefits. See how beautiful? So that's basically how to create your folder and how to organize using the rules, both in Office 365 and in the Outlook app. Okay, so those are the ways to be able to do it. Again, if you wanted to edit or any of those, remember again, I have mentioned if you are in the file options, okay, and you have your options here, there's an open export, there's the rules and alert and the info. There's manage rules and alerts, and these are some of my rules. Take a look. And you could select those. And if you want to delete that, you could actually delete it. Again, which one is this? This is for my Office 365 app. Okay, so you have that option also if you would like to be able to delete or edit. Again, let me review you, track back. If I'm in my Outlook app, you simply use the settings. And in the settings, you view all Outlook settings, go to mail, you go to rules. This is where you could edit or you could delete your rules to organize your record. Okay, so that's how you organize each one of them. I wanted to find out if there's any questions so far. Okay. In my phone, I want to see all the email without rules. Now, of course, when you're using your phone, it's a little bit limited. These are because of course, the size. It's a little bit hard to be able to see all of those and to see. Will you discuss how to create email signature? Yes, I'm going to include that. With the mail automatically go to the folder, or would you have to manually move? Again, I have shown you how to manually move emails, okay? But you could also create rules. If you want it to be automatic, you have to create rules, just like what I have shown, okay? Now, another way of organizing your email, I don't know if you noticed, I like using my Outlook app, because in my Outlook app, you see the type portion of my screen, I have the pin, some of the important, all the things that I would like to pin and how to flag. So when you wanted to flag an email, you wanted to remind yourself to follow up or take action at a later time. When you receive an email in your inbox, okay? And in your inbox, let's say, let me scroll, I have an important email. So I would like to, let's say, I wanted to go back to an email sent to me by Tatiana. So this is the email that I got from Tatiana. And I have no time to read it. I don't have time to respond to it right now, but I would like to remind myself to follow up in it or take a look at it in a later time. So you notice when I hover over it, there is a plug this message, and also pin. If I just simply plug it, notice how it becomes red. And if I click away from it, okay, that email is actually in yellow because it's being plugged. If I wanted to pin it so it will actually be on top of my screen, you notice how I have the messages. I could actually pin it and take a look. It will now be placed on top of my screen. Okay. So that's another way of organizing your emails, how to manage your emails. You could actually plug email to follow up on a later time, right? Now, once you have finished plugging, right, you could actually be able to, let's say you have read it, you could just unpin it and it will join, go back to my regular email. And then, of course, I could actually remove, you see that? For those that have plugs, there you go, Tatiana. I could actually unplug the message. Okay. And that will just simply have a check mark into it. So again, you could actually be able to do that in what you call Office app. That's why I like the Microsoft app. However, in our Office 365, right? So you could actually use the filtering option, okay, when you are in your inbox, okay, and you have a list of all of your emails right there. So basically, you could actually use some of the options like filtering right there. Okay, so we could filter by the date or by time, or you could actually be able to see some of our options in here later on. So we'll just filter. Notice here, you could filter by the unread email, the plug mails. So all the ones that I have plugged. So notice I have all the ones in yellow. In Office 365, if I would like to see all of the plug items, I would click on plug mail. And there you go. I will be able to see it. But you have to specify it in Office 365 view, right? So that's basically what it is. But in app, I don't have to do that because it will automatically be highlighted and be able to see it. Or if I would like to pin it, I could see the pin button next to it. So I hope, that's very clear. Now let's go to let me just quickly look at the question. By creating the rule, would the mail automatically go to the folder? Yes. Would you have to manually move the folder? No more, because the folder is already on the list of your folder. So yes, once you create the rule, it will automatically move right there. Okay, so now let's go to the next topic. The next topic is how do we delay the delivery of message? While composing message, select the more option from the tag. So for instance, I have a new message. And again, if whether you are here, right, in your message, you could actually create your message and you will be able to see your options right here, or you could actually be able to see your options. There you go. And there is the options that you could actually be able to see. See that when you expand the layout, let me click on my classic so that you could actually be able to see. So there are different ways of tracking. You could schedule send, you have your delivery request receipt. I will handle them all at the same time and request read receipt. Okay. So these are some of the things that you always wanted to be able to do, right, with your messages, right? So that's under the option. If you go to messages, you will also be able to see some of these options that you have. Now, in my Office 365, right? You could actually be able to see all of those in your tag groups. You see the tag groups? In your tags, you will be able to see the unread messages, right? And the category. So if you have a new email message, 1 second, and it is going to my other, there you go. And there's my tag. If you open your tag right there, you notice, okay, you have more options when you have Office 365 looks. Just like what I said, there are certain things that you don't see in the app, but you see it completely and clearly in your Office 365. So these are some of the settings, okay? You could actually see if you wanted to delay. So let's say I would like to delay. Let's say I'm going to send an email to my colleague, Rafael Tirado. Okay, he knows. And subject is please meeting. So that's my email to him. Please do not forget to join the meeting at 10 a.m. Okay, and we say May 10th. Okay, so that's my reminder. Now, I will not send this to him right now because if I do, it might be buried to all his email. So what I'm going to do is I would like to be able to send it to him first thing in the morning, right? So in my tag, you see right there, I would click on expand and I would say do not deliver before. Take a look. Do not deliver before tomorrow morning on the 10th. At what time? Before, I know he comes at 7:30, before 7 a.m. See that? Do not deliver before 5:10:23 at 7 a.m. That is how you delay the delivery of your message, right? So you make sure you put a check mark on do not deliver before, then you select the date and the time before you simply click on close. And when you do that and you click on the send, okay, that message should actually be in your outbox. So on your left, I have here, let's take a look. I should have my outbox right there. You see outbox? Let me just navigate to it. You see outbox right there? When I click on it, that email that I have created for Rafael is still in my outbox. It will only be delivered to him tomorrow before 7 a.m. And that's how you delay the delivery of messages. Okay, so that's basically how it is. Now, of course, You could actually you could even delay it for up to 120 minutes if you wanted to. Now, let's say you sent an email and you would like to recall the message, right? If you want to recall the message, well, when you go to, let me just go back again. Let me go back on top. Okay, and I'm on my inbox. You see sent items right there. So let's say I have a sent message I would like to recall. Okay, and I'm just going to send a message to, let's say, to Rafael. I'm just going to create a new message first so that he knows this is a test. Okay. So I sent this message to him, to Rafael Terrado. Okay. So now on my sent email, there we go. There's my sent email to him. All you have to do is to double click on that email, right? To open it in another window. And then if you go to file, okay, and then in the info, take a look. This is your option. There is an option to resend or recall. If you go to this option, you have the option to recall the message, okay? And of course, the other one is to resend this message. Okay, so again, you have to select one of the two options. Select delete unread message, right? Copies of this message to recall a sent message. And select delete, okay, unread copies and replace with the new ones when you wanted to have this, redeliver. Okay. So that's basically how it is. So all I have to do again, when you recall this message, it will delete or it will be replaced with a sent message. The other one is resend this message, send a message again with the option to update content. So if I do this, take a look at what will happen. See, it will open up and it will says, and then I could add an additional information and I could say, okay, okay, I am trying the feature. Okay, so I'm just using it as an example. Then I will have to send it. So that's how it works. Okay, so that's how it works. So again, with message recall, a message that you sent is retrieved from the mailboxes of the recipient who haven't yet opened it. You could also substitute a replacement message. Okay, so for instance, again, let me give you a scenario. If you forget to include attachment, sometimes that's a common error. Okay. You can try to retract the message and then send a replacement message that has the attachment. Message recall is available after you click send and is available only if both you and the recipient have the Microsoft 365 or Microsoft Exchange email account, and all of you have it because we all belong to the same agency or organization. Okay. So again, to recall and replace a message, right? You always go to the send message option. You have to go here. Okay. Open the message. Okay. I'm just reviewing to you again what to do, and then select the option whether to recall or to send the message, right? Now, other ways of organizing your mail is, of course, basically you could actually categorize it by color. I don't know if you have seen some people are using color to categorize their email. I do, especially even in my calendar, I do it. Okay. So in my inbox, for instance, and if you look at there is basically your options for your categories. see under the tag, there's categorize. Take a look at the different category I created. Okay, and I have this computer classes, development time, external training, high priority, holiday important, orientation, personal, project, proposed classes, computer, Rafael's training, use of the computer room, vacation. You see how I have all of this category. And that's basically what you call mail by color, right? So these are some of the options. Take a look at the email here that Mark have sent me. So I wanted to be able to scan and see, and there's a color coded. Okay, so you could actually color code it. So if there is an email that you wanted to categorize, let's say I'm going to use Paula's email and I'm going to, let me just use crystals, and I wanted to follow up on crystals, and I wanted to categorize it, and I would say computer classes. So this I click and there's the color. You see the color? And look at here, it says computer classes. So you could also use color coding to categorize your email and organize them. So that's how you basically create. And how you might ask me, how do you create that color? All you have to do is categorize all categories right there. And these are the different categories. You could actually create a new one, okay? And you could select the color. These are the different colors, okay? And then you could type the name and simply just click OK after creating it. And that's how simple it is to create the colors if you would like to be able to create color and categorize your information. Now, I know somebody's asking, am I going to show how to create an email signature? Yes, and this is how you create. Okay, so you wanted to create and you wanted to be able to do it. So I am here. Okay, let me just go here. Okay, so two ways. If I am in my Office 365, if you go to your settings, again, view all Outlook settings, okay? And if you see, you have your mail, you have compose and reply. See that? So that's in the Office app. Oh, yeah, Bobby Diaz, I see your question. I'll get back to you on that. Okay, so on my mail, compose reply, this is my email signature. Take a look, okay? You could create a new signature, email signature, edit and choose signature that will be automatically added to your email messages. So if you wanted to create a new signature, this one I have my name, my title, and my department. If I just wanted to create a new signature, you click on new signature, and this is just my name. I could just simply type my name, okay? So instead of always typing my long name with my, there you go. I could just create this, okay? And after creating it, you could even, you see this? You have your font. You could even change the font to make it look like different, see? Different types of font for your name if you would like to use and change the font. So if you want it to be just more of that handwriting, you could actually do so. You could actually increase the size. So it's up to you. Okay. Now select default signature. So I would simply click on save to make sure that I save it. There you go. So now in here, okay, I have my Outlook web signature, which is this, and I also have just the name right there. Okay, and I could rename it, I could delete it if I change my mind. Now, select the default signature for a new message. For a new message, I would like to use my name with my title. So that's good. For replies, probably I will just use my name. Okay, so that's basically how you compose and create signature, right? Choose the weather to display the from, and BCC lines when you're composing a message. Now, this is, of course, a different one if you would like to always use your BBC, but I'm just concentrating on the email signature right there. Okay. So that's basically how you actually do it on the setting options for your email. So let's save this and let's close this. So I have a question. What happened if they read the message before you recall? Even if you read a message and you recall, they will still be able to, you could still recall the message. So they will get the new message, okay, that you have created if you have replaced it. Had trouble getting on and missed 12 minutes. Would that be able to go show me what I missed? Stacy, I do not know exactly what you have missed, but again, I have this uh class is being recorded and you could always go back. I will share with you the recording. You could always go back to it and review the recording. And if you have any question, feel free to send me your questions so I could actually respond to you. Okay, so that's basically how it is. Now, you're welcome. Thank you, and you're welcome, Bobby. Also, okay. So that's basically how to be able to do those options. Now, the grouping. Okay, let's go back to this. So if you are in your view menu, okay, there you go. These are what they call grouping. Sometimes you wonder, how do we group? You group using this arrangement by date, just like how you see my email is by date, or do you want to group it by flag status? There you go. Or from the from, and it will be sorted alphabetically where it's coming from, flag start date, or is it the two? You see how my inbox switch? It should be flag due date, or it is by category. You see how all the categories will actually be grouped, or by the size. Okay, by default, of course, I always like to use for myself, right? My date by conversation so that the latest email would actually be able to see. And that's basically what they meant by grouping or ungrouping items using the arrangement options right here on your view. Okay. Now, of course, you also have the reverse sort. You have the option to reverse it if I want like to. Now, take a look at this. Right now, I could actually filter, and just like what you have on the arrangement, this is arranged by also. Take a look by the date, from, to, categories, flag status, flag date due, size, subject, type, attachment, account, or importance. Okay. And of course, you could sort it from the oldest on top. I prefer to have newest on top, but again, it's your option. Okay. You could actually do it according to your option. If you wanted the oldest on top because you are looking for an old email, then that's possible. Okay. So that's how you group and ungroup your options. Okay. So that actually allow you to be able to do so. So you could actually you could reverse it right there. This is also when you wanted to do the message preview of the email so that when you are looking, you could see, I have one line. You see, that's why you only see one line. If you wanted to see two lines, okay, it will actually be depending on this folder only or all the mailboxes. That is the option that you will be asked. So these could actually always be changed, right? So the way to read your emails also could also be, the layout could also be changed using this. It is under the view, layout, folder pane, reading pane, or to do pane. Okay, so those are the different things that you could actually do. Now, before we end this, I am going to switch to the calendar. Okay. And in my calendar view, right? So I'm in my calendar and there's new appointment, new meetings, new items. Under new items, this is where you could create your new email. okay, or all other events. Um, is it possible to email the lesson? I'm having the audio issue. Hmm. Um, I don't have a written of what I am actually saying. I go as I demonstrate and show it to you, Lorinda, but I could share the recording that probably later on you could watch the video. Okay. So anyway, let's talk about appointments. You notice right here, there's what you call appointments. So what is an appointment? Appointments are activities that you schedule on your calendar that do not involve inviting other people or reserving resources. You can turn an appointment to a meeting by adding attendees. So when you click on appointment, there you go. You see appointments. You could select the appointment. Let's say I have an appointment. Let's say this is basically what you could actually do if it's a private appointment after work, but you don't want to forget your appointment after work. So after work tomorrow, Wednesday, okay? And I'm done at 3:30. So at 5 p.m. or 4:30, I have right there, and this is, I could type here my, let's say this is a dental appointment. Okay. And I could type the location right there, and I could say this is private. There you go. And categorize, I could actually even put this as my personal. There you go. So it's a personal and it is appointment. Notice the difference. I did not invite anybody. That makes it as an appointment, right? So I made it private. I categorize it as personal. I have my dental appointment, which is after work at 4:30. I save and close. And there you go. It's right there at the bottom. So when I hover it, it will be a reminder for me. And that's how you create an appointment. Okay. And that's how simple it is to create an appointment in your machine, right? So in your email, rather. So that's an appointment. However, if you wanted to create or do a recurring, take a look. There's another option in here, new item. There is an email message. I know you know how to create a meeting. When you're creating a meeting, okay, and this is about meetings. You schedule a meeting, you click on schedule a meeting. If it's a Teams meeting, you click on Teams meeting. Okay, and it will actually be created as a Teams. There you go. You know it's a Teams meeting, Teams meeting, and you could put the title, the required attendees to your meeting, the optional attendees, the date and time. So that's how easy it is to create a Teams meeting using your Outlook account. Okay, and of course, that's basically how you create your meeting. Let me just close this again. Okay, do you want to save changes? No. Let me go back to this. Another thing that I haven't shown you is basically how to create an all-day event. What is an event? Okay, if let's say you have an activity for the day, let's say today is every, okay, title right there. This is an open house, okay, for computer training. Okay, and it will actually be, let's say, look at the calendar, and it will be, let's say, in June. Oops, sorry, I moved too fast. And let's say it's on June 2nd. There you go. And that will be an all-day event right there. And you could actually be able to see it, and you could put the location. So let's say location is at 130 Livingston Plaza. And it's on the first floor. Okay. So if this event is a recurring, which means every year you have it right there, you could actually make it recurring by clicking on recurring. Otherwise, you simply save on it. When you save, so I have saved it for the month of June, right? And there's June. And I think I have it for the month of June. There you go. There's an open house. Do you see it? There's my open house, and it's actually going to be marked in your calendar for the open house. So that's what you do. So every year, if you have a certain date that you celebrate or you do certain activities, you could make it an occurring event. And that's what you refer to as an event. Can you show how to share your calendar? Okay. When you're sharing calendar, take a look. There you go. There is actually some shared calendars right there. You could create a shared calendar. It's more of um these are some of my example of shared calendars already. I have to get access and permission to be able to do that and select the option. It has to be see this when I have the shared calendar, I will be able to see the event going on for our ODD training room. If I wanted to see the shared calendar, I could actually do so also with Rafael. I could send you how to be able to step on how to do the shared calendars with you, but that's possible. You see how I could have access to it. Okay, so yeah. So that's basically what it is. It's 1:58 already. Wow, time flies, everybody. So let me just minimize this, everyone. And I'm just going to go back to my list. And we were able, let's go back. So we were able to do create rules. We were able to manage and delete them and recall them. We were able to group and sort, and we made use of the calendar features, right? Now, in this email, I also have here. Okay, let me see if I could show you. There's are some of the reference links. So I'm just going for all of you who attended this session today. I am going to email this to all of you so you could actually be able to see additional notes, references. These are all Microsoft links, okay, that you could actually see the procedures. Also, if I may ask you for today's class, if you could actually help us or help me with the survey for managing Outlook. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you so much. And thank you for joining me this afternoon. Expect the email from me, and I will send it to you this afternoon. Have a good day, everyone.